Let's go ahead and start this shit so we can get it over with.
3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back to Server Restart In, the weekly World of Warcraft podcast where three opinionated players get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim, joined by Kristen.
Hello.
And Brian. Say that again, because your thing cut out.
Hi.
Hey, what the hell is wrong with your fucking mic?
Are you serious? God damn it.
That sounded
Now
fine.
it's fine, yeah.
Otherwise, it was all like garbled.
That was
Are
weird.
you downloading midget porn?
Midget porn.
Not that I know of.
Okay, that's typically the culprit. So
Midget porn is typically.
yeah,
the
obviously your download finished. So anyway, it's been a pretty slow week in World of Warcraft. Not a lot has really happened in the retail version of the game. I honestly haven't played much, which
Whoa.
Me neither.
Whoa. I mean, it's not surprising to anybody that I haven't.
I mean, normally I play. I mean, I did get a mount today. I got one of the giant bug mount things from the Wild Hunt thing.
Congrats.
It was nice.
Good.
Yay.
Good. I'm glad you got it.
Let's see. They're still doing a bunch of stuff for 915.
Oh, they're still renaming things too.
We're not getting to that. I'm
Oh.
working up to
Oh,
that.
okay. All
Way
right.
to jump the gun. Way
Sorry.
to just.
I thought you forgot.
Way to just deflate.
Yeah,
me.
I thought you forgot. I'm sorry. I took the wind out of your sails.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just cut me off at the knees.
Yeah, I do that.
Anyway, so one of the things that's coming
Uh-oh.
up for the
Uh-oh.
PTR is they're doing a bunch of tuning on Legacy Raid content. Legacy Raid content for Legion. They're making some bosses going to be like the mythic bosses, like Agrimar, Kil'jaeden, the ENR. They're tuning those fights so that way they can be done solo,
Oh.
which is nice because
That last one can't be, can it?
what, Kil'jaeden?
No. Oh, was it? No.
That's not it.
ANR.
Oh, ENR. I think they're changing it, so I'm not sure.
So it can be?
Yeah, they're
Huh.
they're updating it so that it will be. I don't actually. Yeah, SS and ENR. Oh no, they're unchanged.
Oh.
I don't know. I maybe they're currently soloable in some sense, but I know they're doing Gul'dan. They're doing Agrimar, reducing the knockback stuff. Iminar, so I guess he's not going to put you to sleep as much. Oh, apparently he's only going to use the sleep canister on groups, which is great because I had to do that as an unholy death knight, I think, to kill him because I was asleep the whole time, and it was a pain in the ass. Yeah. The Council of Shivara fight is going to be changed, so the 99% reduction won't trigger when you're in there by yourself. So, this is a funny quote. This is the Blizzard Watch article, and talking about that, it says, meaning you don't need to keep them separated like the offspring were chanted in your ear the whole time, which is funny. Anyway, trying to see what else. They're adding a bunch more dungeons into the time walking rotations.
Oh, yeah.
So, like in Burning Crusade, they're going to add Underbog, Botanica, and Blood Furnace. Lich King, we're going to get Utgard Keep, Azrael Narub, and Forge of Souls.
Utgard Keep, is that the first dungeon of that, or is that the last?
Yes, Pinnacle's the
Pinnacle's the
second
other
one.
Pinnacle's the other one.
Yeah, which is good because how many times do you get the Old Kingdom?
I like the. Oh yes, no, that's terrible. I like Utgard Keep. I wish it was. I actually thought it was, but
I don't
I'm dumb,
understand
so.
why they don't have them all in there. To be honest,
Right.
Because they're jerks.
But
the gator added again.
I guess maybe it's just they can keep adding things on. So yeah, they're adding Scholomance to Mist of Pandaria.
That was the remake.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. There was a Scholomance dungeon in Mist, or did they just remake it in Mists?
Yeah, it was remade in Mists.
Huh.
Interesting. It's weird.
Yeah, because they made it like completely straightforward. Like the very last boss, you just walk. I'm pretty sure you just walk in the room,
That's
or
the
you
one
clear
with-
2 rooms. That was it.
That's the one with Lillian Voss, right?
Yeah.
Or as we like to
Yeah.
call her, Jillian.
As
Jillian.
you like to call her, Jillian.
Oh, let's not start that again. We know where that leads to.
Oh. Yep. I don't know. Not a lot of stuff. So there is some stuff that did happen with some renaming that occurred, and what raid was the first one? It was accounts. It was the Throne of Thunder. One of the fights in there was called the Twin Consorts. So they decided to rename that instance. I'm not sure why. And they're also changing the name of the Love Is in the Air mount from the Big Love rocket to something else.
Big dick.
Nope. Apparently that's 2 on the nose. So it seems that it feels like they're trying to find anything that is potentially
Problematic.
or offensive and change it. Whereas, this isn't. First off, let's just talk about Twin Consort. Consort in and of itself is not anything wrong. It's a common term used for like a partner of somebody.
Right.
Mainly it's
Like kings and queens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
but Jim is 2 at one time. That's what gets you.
you don't have to call it. You just call it the double consort. I don't know. Why's it got to be twins?
A wife, husband, or companion, in particular, the spouse of a reigning monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so.
But then there's 2.
So what? Just because other cultures don't
Oh,
abide
yeah.
by the same moral codes that
Look,
we do.
I will tell you, once upon a time, when I was in Afghanistan, I saw a husband with his wife
Uh-huh.
on a motorcycle.
Was it like that picture of a whole family on a motorcycle? There's like 12 of them on like a little bike.
There was like 2 women and a dude on this little motorcycle.
Okay. I mean, different cultures have different things that are
Right,
acceptable.
right.
And it's not, it's not an offensive term. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not.
No, I don't think. I mean, typically, I think it's like it probably aligns up more with women's rights issues than anything else, because that specifically was more so a Taliban thing than anything else.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw somebody.
Well, I'm just saying that probably boils down to women's rights things in general. If it's going to fall back somewhere, probably.
I know, it's just silly because consorts are men and women. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in this context, that's probably the reason why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I saw somebody on Twitter talking about how, they're removing all these like minor sexist things, blah blah blah, and it's like I wonder how many more they're gonna do, and like I think they're confusing the term sexist and sexual. You know what I mean? Because consort isn't a sexist term. It's not.
Right.
In any way is it a sexist term, because again, it could be
Male
or female. It's a partner. It's not demeaning towards any
Right.
gender specific group. It's not a sexist term. Calling somebody a consort isn't being sexist. I mean, okay, I guess you could use it that way, but in general, it's more of a sexual term than it is a sexist term. And it's just like, I don't know. It just seems that people are just looking to jump on things and just find any sort of thing to throw out there.
How is consort sexual though?
it implies that they are sexual partners.
Well, it
Because
implies that they're partners, but they don't have to be
they don't
having
have
sex.
to be, but when it's typically a wife or a husband, that implies sexual congress between two individuals. I mean, it does.
Typically, in the past, I would agree with that. But, I mean, there's so many different things now as far as, people's,
Relationships.
yeah. People
sure.
people can be in
Sure,
relationships and be in a loving relationship and be a husband or a wife and, it not be a sexual thing. It's just,
I mean, sure, but I mean, I don't know. Big Love Rocket is obviously sexual.
Big Love Rocket is obviously
I mean,
sexual. Yes.
I don't
I
know.
think the biggest. I think we're highlighting the actual issue, though.
Yeah.
Like, it really
It's muddy waters.
It's changing. It's
changing.
changing, and then like nobody
Yeah.
has a good reason why. Like
Yeah.
again, like we talked about last week, the community should be just as much a part of game changes as them themselves. Like they are not the only ones in this world dealing with anything that they're dealing with. There's tons of people doing it, and tons of people in the same community. So I think that that's slightly disrespectful to sit and go through and make those decisions without you know what I mean? Like even
Right.
going through and verifying that the people that are affected by it, that they can recognize, have input to those changes. Because to a certain extent, when you change too much about a world,
Sorry. Time to start recording. We started early and I didn't turn the alarm,
The alarm
off.
off.
And so it went off. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I was just saying, like, they need to do a better job of their open communication policy. Still sucks wiener.
Well,
so
and that's the thing too, right? It's if they were to go ahead and identify all these things that they think could potentially have problems, and it's and get a list and put a survey out and all that stuff. It's one of those things. It's like, how many people are actually going to take the survey, take it in a manner that is, not, contrived or trying to force some certain thing, and actually, at that point, they have, we know they still have several million players. Are they going to take a survey out to all these people and collate all the data and then just do based on ranking whether or not to change it?
yeah.
Sure, you do that, but you're gonna. But what if most people are just
But they're doing explosive changes without telling anybody what and really, we know why at a high level, but why? Why is it such a big deal that okay, we're making some changes? That's great, but then now more changes are being done, and like, it's just being swept underneath the same type of rug. Like,
Right.
I'm not saying that I deserve an explanation. That's not what I mean at all. But
I deserve an
think that there's
explanation. Damn it.
I think there's enough changes where it's like, what? Okay,
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, so what's going to happen is the current ESRB rating for WoW is teen, meaning blood and gore, crude humor, okay, mild language, which whatever, that's hardly any, suggestive themes, use of alcohol, and violence. So if we're going to start pulling out all this stuff, why not just knock it down to an E and take all that stuff out?
What you're going for?
There's nothing
Maybe
wrong.
that's it.
It's rated T for teen, which means that teenagers.
It wasn't even mature in the first place, so yeah.
Yeah, but if you think about stuff that's rated, like anything that's rated, like movies that are PG-13, they have way more content in them that is sexual in nature, that people watch, and you don't see these things get, I don't know.
That people don't make a big deal out of them.
Yeah, it's like,
Right.
they're making a big deal out of this stuff. Well, and again, it's probably not even people that play the game making a big deal out of it. It's everything else that this company did created this spotlight on them. So now they have to show that they are doing something to combat this. And everybody's criticism of them is, oh, so we're just going to change some lines of code as opposed to, fixing the issue with your employees, and it's just like,
Which again just boils down to communication problems.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're more open about how they're doing things, right? I mean, we heard a lot of hubbub whenever the protest was going on and stuff like that. But then to me, it all just died down, and I sit and check stuff every single day. So,
oh yeah, it's every now and then you'll see somebody pop up. It's like, hey, it's been X amount of time since this report was released, and these demands haven't been met. And it's just like, well, I don't know if they have an obligation to just meet your demands, or if your demands are something that can be met in a certain time frame. But I mean, they're still trying to keep light on it, but I haven't seen those posts in a while either. So I mean, those people are kind of being less proactive about it too, because it's a hard thing to keep up. Let's see. Another thing is that Bobby Kotick got brought in on not charges, but he's being investigated by the SEC for failing to disclose this stuff to the shareholders. So that's kind of,
couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I don't know him. I don't know if he's a nice guy or not. You know what I mean? Just because somebody is a CEO doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person.
It makes $1 bazillion dollars, and your other people don't, like everybody underneath you doesn't, and, blah, blah, blah. But, that's fine. I'm biased. I'm not going to lie. I am biased against CEOs, because they make all the money, and I'm sure they do stuff, but they don't, do the majority of stuff to keep the stuff going. I think that people should be paid more, and CEOs should be paid less, but,
Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's just not how businesses work. CEOs get paid that kind of money because they're the ones with the target on their back, right? They're the ones that take the fall. So it's kind of like insurance money.
I guess. But if you're not doing anything wrong, then,
just means they get paid a short amount of time. They get paid the same. They get a full retirement check.
Yeah.
For a short amount of time so they can be shot in the back.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, to be fair, that guy looks like a douchebag anyways. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't read much about him, but he looks like a douche.
Well, sure. And typically people
I judge by the cover of books typically because I don't usually read. So
I like to read, but I like to read the things that I like to read, and
like porn.
And, and Bobby Kotick is not one of them.
No,
not
one of them.
Bobby Kotick porn.
Yeah, I do not read that. No, thank you.
It's just him just rolling around with a pile of fruit.
Okay, we're just wow. Okay.
No, with a pile
approving sexual changes to video games.
Yeah.
He's like, we don't need no women laying on a chaise lounge. We need.
Oh no, he was the one that probably implemented it all before they took it out.
Oh my god.
Did you see on Reddit somebody said that there's still a raunchy goblin poster in the goblin starting area?
Oh god, is there really?
I think
they just haven't got to it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you call it raunchy. It's just like a goblin
like
chick
a
leaning.
pinup,
like
right?
A pin-up?
Like a pinup.
Yep,
yeah.
That's I bet that's on the chopping block, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, actually, no. Actually, it's pretty.
Is it really risque?
I don't think it's. I mean, she's got a pretty thin bikini on.
I mean,
and she's on the Horde chopper.
The Horde chopper.
Oh, so it's like a motorbike, like a bikinis and bikes type thing.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know exactly. I don't know if it says where it's at here.
Well, it's probably gonna be gone. So
he says, "Don't worry, guys. Blizz won't find the Goblin Babe pinup calendar in my secret hideout."
In an area you can't get back to.
Oh, that's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see more change with how they run things. You know what I mean? I want to hear
His purpose.
What?
with purpose,
Right.
with meaningful purpose.
Yeah.
I don't.
If they're
Yeah.
going to fix issues to help people get through what's going on,
Right.
then let everybody know about it.
Well-
The more the community knows about it, the more that everybody can help address it as well.
Like,
Not telling anyone's not helping anything at all.
and like other people have said, well, maybe these art assets were designed by these people that were involved and were removed from the company that were, and it's part of like the Jesse McCree sweep kind of thing. Like those people were,
Who
like,
cares though? Like,
well,
there's been tons of
it's
scantily
fine.
clad things in D&D fantasy and all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
right. And
on both sides.
No, I know that. I'm just saying that, like, people were saying, like, maybe this is part of their contribution to the game and they're
Right.
erasing their contribution from the game kind of thing. But again, that's something that just, hey, we're doing some cleanup on some stuff that people brought in because, it could remind, some people
And that,
about it.
I
And if
guess
that's
to a
the-
certain extent, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't.
It's
it doesn't.
it's tough. Yeah, well, I mean, for them, it probably does. For everybody else, it doesn't.
It's
No, I mean, I would not say for me it doesn't. I don't know. Like, maybe for them, I can understand how it would, but for me, like renaming the zone of that zone. One, that's fine. I don't give a shit about the zone. I don't remember
Wait, what
half the
zone?
stuff I didn't.
Macari.
The
Oh,
one in
oh,
eight,
oh, oh, the Overwatch character.
No, they changed the
7-3.
zone in.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
But that's also
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jesse
Overwatch
McCree.
character
Yeah.
too. That they're changing his name. Yeah.
The thing is,
like I can't speak for Overwatch, but like in the like changing a whole zone name. Come on,
Here's the thing.
change the two E's to a Y or something. Does it? Is it the sound? Is it the visual representation of the word?
Here's
Right?
here's the thing. If I had no clue until all this stuff started happening that zone, that character
We're named
was
after
named
somebody.
after this guy.
Yeah, I know, me either.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that-
oh yeah.
Like I may have seen him on a panel at a BlizzCon thing, but I never put two and two together
No, me either.
because I don't pay attention to. I don't. I don't look at developers as
I
like
think-
rock
I think
stars.
The quest in classic, the quest in classic for the dungeon where you throw the fire. Oh, it's a lighter. You throw it on a
Yeah.
mailbox.
Is it the
I don't remember.
Asrabi guy?
Oh yeah,
stuff?
that's yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
first time I actually learned about somebody that
Right.
built the game. Was like
Was
they had
in
a
the game.
in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Same
Oh.
thing.
And that's the thing. Is like I don't know any of this stuff. It's like I've never been a person to like follow anybody based on a video game. Like
Right.
I know there was the one guy that was the spokesperson for the Sony SEO stuff that we watched for Landmark when that was coming out. I can't tell you his name.
Oh
But
yeah.
he was like the director, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
I
know
don't
who
remember
Ian
his name either.
Hazacakis is because he's,
Well, it's a game you're
Brad
actively
McQuaid?
playing. No.
you would know who he is. He's got a ponytail and all that stuff, and he was
Forever.
H1.
For
no,
EverQuest 2.
Landmark.
Landmark.
They're
Landmark.
EverQuest Next.
EverQuest Next. Yeah.
Like he was before they got turned into Daybreak and all that
Mike
stuff.
something maybe.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know their names. It's like I know a few names because you see them every now and then, like Mike Morheim and all this stuff, and you get all this stuff. But like it's just never been. I don't think about the people that make these things, and I don't think about this person,
Right.
was a bad person. They made this, and I like this, and therefore I'm a bad person by proxy. And it's just like I like a lot of different type of music. And that's another thing too. There's a character in this game named Gorge the Corpse Grinder. He was introduced in, I think, Wrath of the Lich King. And it's named after George, is it George? I think his name's George. He's the lead singer for the band Corpse
The
Grinder.
jungle.
Huh?
Of the jungle.
No,
To the jungle.
he's the lead singer of Corpse Grinder. And they performed at a BlizzCon thing, and apparently he said a bunch of foul shit and had some like homophobic things that he said or whatever. But if you think about it, in the context of performance and who this guy is, and just back then, just the culture and all this stuff. It's like you see stuff about this guy now. You know what he does? He goes out and he takes like Instagram photos or whatever of himself going to a claw machine and just holding a shit ton of stuffed animals because he likes to do that, and then he gives them away. And this is the guy for like Corpse Grinder, the fucking death metal band. You know what I mean? It's just like, and so like they're waiting for that to get changed and all this stuff. And it's just like people change. It's just this whole fucking concept of not allowing somebody to be different from who they were back then.
Yeah.
Some things, sure, they're not. You can't just hand wave them away. If this F. Robbie guy or whatever did the things he did, and used his position to do things that he shouldn't have done, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what. Gone. That's not the same thing as like sending out a tweet. Like think of the shit with like James Gunn when he got fucking fired from Guardians of the Galaxy and they brought him back, because of shit he said years ago. And he's like, I was trying to be funny. It was bad. I'm not that person anymore. And it's just like
everybody has that. I mean,
yeah.
If we never get it's one thing that it's so bad that you can't be it's not that you can't be forgiven for it, but you can't just take something so physical back. But it's totally different when we live in a world where you really got to forgive people, and you got to be able to be forgiven to move on from things, right? It's
in a world where your private life isn't private anymore, and it's an online world. Like, anybody who's anybody exists out in the fucking internet. You know what I mean? It's just like they got posts, they got accounts on blogs or chat boards and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And if you say something without thinking about it and you just throw it out there, it's out there forever.
Yep.
And it might have been funny at the time, but like 2 seconds after you send it, you might go, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that."
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, you're fucked. It's like, because it's out there,
yeah.
And it's just how do you fucking live like that? How is it that one, nobody lets people forget their mistakes, nobody lets people grow, and you basically hold somebody's feet to the fire for anything that they've done, regardless of whether they did it yesterday or whether they did it 12 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Well, because it exists on the internet, and you can't tell unless it's dated. You can't tell when people, say it. So for some people, they've never seen it before, and they're like, oh, well, I've never seen it, so it must have just happened, So there's no context, I don't think, for stuff.
I think it depends on where it is. Most tweets have timestamps on them.
Yeah.
Like when people quote them or
I
whatever.
don't bird, so I don't.
The context of that period, though, I get that. Yeah.
It's sometimes that context is lost, but usually you can tell. And usually if you're a reasonable fucking person, you're gonna look at that and go, okay, when did this fucking happen? And where was I at that time?
I mean,
right?
But think about it. People on the internet are not reasonable people.
That's kind of what but
nobody on the internet is a reasonable person. Come on now.
No, you're right. And that's kind of what I was getting at, is that the internet has made it so that people just don't think about things. It's everything. This comes from media and then social media and all that stuff. It's always about getting the scoop, right? It's always about being the first to throw out something there, be the first to jump on something, and that makes you important because you were the first one to say something, or you were the first one to respond to something. It's the same thing with fucking news stories, and that's just, it's garbage.
We live in the age of tabloids, not information anymore.
Yeah.
Inevitably, the first post in everything is first.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm just waiting for Bat Boy to run for president.
Who?
Who?
Now, you brought up fucking tabloids. You ever seen the fucking National Enquirer with fucking Bat Boy on there? Like, it's all like the stupid fake shit. It's like this kid with like bat ears and
I
stuff.
think I know what you're talking about. I gotta look it up,
I
but
do
I think I know what
not.
you're talking about.
I do not.
We're talking about something that's like fucking close to 20 years old or whatever, but it's
Bat Boy. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. What?
it's just such a here. This is Bat Boy.
Oh my goodness. He bit Saddam.
He bit Saddam.
He did all kinds of shit.
My God, Bat Boy, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Weekly World News, not National Enquirer.
Oh, Weekly World News.
But,
It's
Alien and
different.
Slammer after fist fight with Bill over Hillary.
Yeah, and it's just like, but you see what I mean? It's just like everything's turned into tabloids like
Yeah.
this, and it's just like, it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's
Oh my
just like,
gosh.
what?
Dick Cheney is a robot?
Wait, what? I knew it.
Yeah, they
I
get
knew
his
it.
motherboard. Yep, he opened up his motherboard and everything. That's
Oh,
crazy.
man.
All right, we've gone down this rabbit hole quite far enough. Oh man.
Oh, but it's
So
fun.
okay. Prediction time, right? 915's on the PTR. They're still doing some stuff. I think this current week gets you up to renown level 72.
Oh, God, really?
Yep.
I'm so far behind.
So
What's for now?
what's renown? That's funny.
Yeah.
That's a good joke. I like
Yeah.
that. We'll have to maybe
I don't know
put
what
that
it
in the
is
beginning.
either.
You know, as the
One of the 50 systems that no one cares about anymore.
Yeah.
But the whole alt thing and the whole covenant switch thing happens at renown 80. And if you get 2 renown a week, it's you're either 4 weeks out or 3 weeks out, depending on if they drop it when you've hit 80 renown, or if you can hit 80 renown the week it drops. So we're either looking at 3 or 4 weeks before 915 drops. In my estimation, just based on that kind of stuff. I think that seems pretty reasonable.
I would think so, yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't see them dropping it with those systems in place without people being able to use them right away. Because
Right.
they're going to want people to be able to start
Well,
doing... Go ahead.
You know what's weird is that 8.2 dropped before the year mark, the anniversary mark for BFA's release. So I can't imagine they're going to drop a patch like this any later than the anniversary. Or, you know what I mean? Like
Right. Well, when
So it's
did
got-
when did it come out?
the I don't know, November 20 something, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I don't know. Turkey Day. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the 23rd. It was November 23rd.
Oh, yeah.
It was my mom's birthday. Yeah. So that I would imagine that it's going to come out soon, and I'm thinking,
God, dude, think of the content that we had in BFA in under a year.
Yeah.
that's just I don't. Yeah. Well, you got to think about the development system was probably different back then because they weren't working from home, and if that's actually really causing delays.
They should just switch to this model.
I mean,
Then just in case there's another.
well, here's the thing, right? If they can figure out a way to make or to keep productivity up with working from home and actually get stuff working and just generate more content. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, you're saying 8.2 dropped like a year after BFA launched, right? Well,
It was actually like it was rough. I'm pretty sure it was roughly about a month and a half before the anniversary is when 8.2 came out, and that was Nazjatar.
that feels, I don't know. One, we're definitely not on pace for that.
Let me double check my dates before I go too far.
Right.
I'm almost certain it was then, but
Well,
release.
I mean, even if it's not, right? Even if it was a little after, even if it was a year and a half, right?
Nope, it was June 25th, and the anniversary was like August 19th or 20
So
something.
wow, it was 2 months before, so 10 months afterwards.
Isn't that crazy? And
It
that's
is crazy.
that's Najdatar. That was huge. Like,
Yeah, it
and
was.
8.1 was what? That was the
Battle for Desire Lore.
invasions in Battle for Desire Lore.
Yeah, and
Or
it's
not, man.
yeah, because 815 would have been Temple.
It was
of
so
the
it's,
Storm.
okay. So is Shadowlands just an expansion to make BFA look better for everybody that hated it?
That is a good question.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that I don't know. It's just
Yeah, it came out August 14th of 18. That's crazy.
yeah. I
I
really
mean,
don't.
at least we know what their potential is. I mean, because that was a really good patch, and
Well-
maybe 8 or 9.2 will be an extremely good patch.
Maybe. I mean, it's probably gonna deal with the first ones. I mean, because we're probably gonna follow Zolvault through that portal, and it's all gonna deal with the first ones, and it's probably gonna upend.
If it's Corthia 2.0, I might request a refund for a few months.
I mean,
Right.
I don't,
If
so,
they give me Corthia 2.0, I might get angry. If at least you could do is give me Timeless Isle. If you're gonna have a zone that small, give me Timeless Isle. I'll be happy.
I mean, Corthia kind of is like Timeless Isle.
No, it's not. You shut up. You stop that.
You stop that right now.
Okay.
Epics, epics and toys and all kinds of stuff. Corthia is very much like, I don't know. It's just I don't want to talk. Every time I talk about the Gator, I get mad. So he's over there making ball. Him and Bobby are going out and hanging out in Lambos and stuff, coming up with ways to gate stuff in the game. I don't know. This pisses me
Yeah.
off.
Well,
Gator and Bobby Gator.
Bobby Gator.
so I don't know. Like, so 9-2, right? So we travel. We're probably gonna get a raid in 9-2, right? At some point, probably
Yeah,
not.
like two bosses. Yeah.
No, that would be a 915 because 9-2 you had Nashitar and you had the Eternal Palace and you had that whole raid.
But we're not getting a raid in 915.
Right, but that was 8-2, and we're not at 9-2, so we wouldn't be getting a raid. We're getting 915 next, right? And 815 it wasn't Nashitar. 8-2 was Nashitar.
I realize that.
Right, so I'm saying in 9-2 we'll probably get a raid, and it won't be a 2-boss raid.
Yeah, I was joking. It was a
Oh.
joke.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
It was a dark joke on the amount of things that the amount of fun Shadowlands has given us.
Yeah. So much fun.
Oh,
Sorry, my expectations are low. That's the best I could do.
Hey, 915 is bringing new transmog stuff for the Trial of Style. You're going to be able to get boots. So
Wait, what?
they're adding boots to Trial
I've
of
played
Style.
Trial of
Did
Style,
they
I
not
think,
have
twice.
boots in Trial of
They're
Style
going to be
before?
special boots, and they're going to be boots that cover everybody's feet, apparently. Even troll feet.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah. Well,
That'll be
Innovation.
interesting.
I don't know.
I'll be interested to see that.
I hope they write like a white paper on it so they can put it into a signage journal or something.
Is that another joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. See? My joke jar is getting
So
back on.
other game studios can
Learn how to gate content.
practice their innovation methods. So you really want to be able to implement boots for everybody.
Boots.
Boots.
And
Really,
cats and
it's a turn of the century thing at this point. So
all right. I don't know. There's not really much else really going on, is there?
Diablo 2, woo!
Oh yeah, Diablo 2 came out today? Yesterday?
Yesterday,
Yeah.
and it's like kind of good, kind of bad on the Switch.
Oh, really?
Oh, you said
No,
on the
it's
Switch?
great. The game is great. I bought it on the Switch as well because I thought, hey, laying in bed playing Diablo before I go to sleep, That sounds fun. And
Right.
it is. But gosh darn, the controls just make me want to cringe every
Oh
time.
no.
It's
And the graphics too, like it's got that, the Switch is the smaller screen and it's like 720 or something like that. But it's just enough where like the font blends in a little bit together and it's hard to read because they didn't scale it down well enough.
oh man.
A lot of stuff is just, it's hard to play. It's not impossible. And trust me, I'm still like, I think I made it to like level 7 last night or something like that before I went to sleep. But it's still, oh man, I don't know.
Okay, can you?
Hey, other stuff though looks great. Like I saw somebody playing on an Xbox earlier and it looks fantastic.
Well,
on
have you
there.
played the Switch on in the dock with it?
Yeah, I mean
Is it
I got
still
a
bad?
crappy 1080 TV that I played it on, so I haven't played it on like a better looking one. A better looking one. The best I can do is 1080 on the dock, but I haven't tried it on more up to date. But in that case, like I got it for computer as well, so
Well, yeah.
I'll play it on PC and then go play it in bed on my Switch. But it does connect to your BattleNet account. Each game does. So
So you can play
As far as I can tell,
cross-platform.
yeah, you can do offline play or you can do online play. If you do online play, as far as I can tell, it saves your character. So you can load it up on whatever platform.
Nice.
And they got it like on every console and PC. So,
Cool.
and it's really cool because I think if you press G or something like that in game, it's a hotkey in game. It'll switch to the old Diablo 2 graphics.
Oh, I looked
No.
at that during one of the betas, and I was like, when I loaded it up, I'm like, man, this doesn't look any different than I remember it. And then I switched to the old graphics, and I went, oh, yeah.
Damn.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It looked really, really good though. Whenever you zoom in and stuff, like you can really, the graphics army that like they did a good job for it. Like they actually, I think that they did it good justice. It still plays the same. It always felt like Diablo 1, but it was faster. Like you could get places faster.
Right.
But in stamina, I now remember stamina being a pain in the ass, but
So, would you say that it is a better remake or remaster than Warcraft 3?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, like tenfold.
Have you played Warcraft
I would-
3 Reforged?
Yes.
Have you played
Yes.
it since they fixed everything?
I don't know that I've necessarily played enough before they fixed it
Oh.
to tell the difference.
Gotcha.
But then again, like I only played single player, and it just wasn't impressive. I would have rather gone back and played the old one than the new one. I don't like the whole, the same amount of polygons, then they just soften it up, for the modern resolution, right? Because those polygons back when we had whatever 240 or whatever we had back then,
Right.
made sense, but then like now it's the same amount of polygons on a model, right? And I think they improved them a little bit or something, but they still look terrible. And it's just like, why do this and charge 30, 40, 50, $60 for it? Now Diablo 2, I would say $40 is a stretch, but it is $40 on every platform, so that's not such a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Versus being like $60 or whatever it may be. I would much rather prefer it been like $20, but I think that's been fairly common. They've been charging at least $40 for whatever game comes out like that.
Yeah.
But if you like Diablo before, I mean, nothing's changed. It's still Diablo, which is fun to replay. It's fun to smash and grab loot. And yeah,
Awesome. Well, that sounds good. At least it's good to know that Blizzard has some teams that are doing good work still. So,
Or any.
or any.
No, I know they're doing work. I'm not. That's
At least they didn't just go in and just rename all the characters and push it out. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. It's going to be a little bit short
Thank
this
you.
week. Not done.
Oh, whoops.
Man, where did you jumped the gun in the beginning?
I
You jumped the
know.
gun at the end. You're
I
just
know.
ready to be doing
he
something
wants to
else.
jump your gun.
Oh my.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, thanks for listening. You can check us out at facebook.com/server restart in. Shoot us a tweet at server_restart, and catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.